This is the first week on Legends Alliance Season 3, and my first opponent is Swaggyboi, who has opted for some sort of sand balance. Lots of powerful and bulky mons. The first thing I notice is no grounded poison, so T-Spikes should be really good here. We can work off of hazard damage by bringing priority, both of my spin blockers, and ways to pressure his removal. Remember that this is Nat Dex, so Scald Finny and Roost Volk is on the table again. Tera captains also only have 2 types to choose from. This Volk has fire and grass is the huge threat I need to prep for. Honestly, all of Swaggy's water resists are what I need to watch out for. Lastly, a Spother Cheese can happen, as there are no complex bans on it. But thankfully, he didn't make it a Tera captain. First, we have the Navarch of the Seas. We are back to Bloon's nicknames because that was what I was into at the time. But you'll see that the music is still Archknights related. So Protective Pad's Palafin allows me to flip turn and CC on Pharaoh with no drawback. It also dodges the burn chance from Bulk's Flame Body. Pretty standard set. Jet Punch allows me to revenge Stoutland and Bulk if it hasn't terra'd, but if it does, then I have Ice Punch. I'm just fast enough to outspeed Adamant Tusk. If it's Jolly Tusk, it shouldn't be a problem for my Hatterene and Gourgeist. Tera Water for an even beefier Jet Punch. Perma-Spike is a fitting name for Glamora. This is my hazard setter. We have Spiky Shield to stall Sand and chip Tusk and his Sand Sweepers. Spikes and T-Spikes for a ton of pressure. Sludge Bomb keeps offensive pressure. And Energy Ball to chip off T-Tar faster, so that Sand doesn't stay up for too long. We're very specially defensive to deal with Bulk and Finny better, especially with Sand up. Hatterene, the Archmage, is my hazard deterrent, with Mystical Fire to deter Pharaoh even more. Aside from that, it's very physically defensive, which should serve to take an emergency hit or two from Zalt, Tusk, Stoutland, and T-Tar. Nuzzle spreads paras, Draining Kisses for recovery, and Calm Mind makes it a potential win con. Once again, not sure how to use this mon, but a cool thing I can do is 1v1 Finny to stall out terrain and then get a surprise Nuzzle. Tera Fairy is to help with Drain Kiss heals. Iron Fist Infernate will be here to stop Volcarona. With Assault Vest and the given investment, I should be capable of living a +1 Psychic from full. This is why it's important to keep hazards off and to have other mons deal with Pharaoh. Fake Out stalls the sand and the terrain. T-Punch gives me Finny killing ability, and Dual Stab covers the rest. If Volk Tera grasses, Fire Punch will take care of it. Gourgeist Super spin blocks Tusk pretty well and is my best Zalt check. Rocky Helmet furthers this agenda, and then I have Wisp plus Seed to heal off and spread passive damage. I have Sneak for even more priority in case Bulk or Zalt are barely hanging on from the previous priority, and Poltergeist to keep up the pressure. And finally, we have Basculegion Female. She's going to serve the purpose I mentioned in the team builder, a water resist lure. Here we can deal heavy damage to Pharaoh and Finny with Ghost Stab. Even more so with Hex if I spread paras and poisons accordingly. This mon can be a spin blocker, but she will probably end up trading with Tusk at best. Swaggy does look like he'll have a hard time switching into Legion, if hazards are up. Legion herself has a decent amount of switch-in opportunities versus the defensive mons. The team's game plan is solid, if I do say so myself. So I just need to be careful of Calm Mind Finny and Tera Grass Vault. Alright, so battle time. And Swaggy has decided to not bring Pharaoh. So I just mindlessly lead with Palafin to get the form change going. Tusk leads, and I'm unsure if it's Jolly, so I manually switch to Hat, who narrowly dodges the 2-ko if it is Jolly, and sure enough, the play works out. And now Swaggy has to switch. He swapped to another Fairy Weakmon, maybe predicting Psychic, so I heal a decent amount. At this point, I can just keep chipping T-Tar, since I live anything, even if it's... Oh, but the defense dropped. So, I did stay in there because I'm expecting it to be a Smooth Rock or Stealth Rock set. Nothing like heavy hitting. But the defense drop is annoying. I can still live another one though and continue chipping it. He switches to yet another Fairy Weakmon, and now, thanks to that, it's prone to revenge kills. So there was no way I lived both weeks, so in comes my dedicated check. That works out. Here it's Shadow Sneak, I doubt it will kill. He does pack Fire Blast, and I should have known better, as that's how they handled bulky grasses last gen. I do get the Leech Seed, but it's not doing enough because of Zolt's lefties. So, for preservation purposes, I swap out to Glimora to take another Fire Blast. But it swaps to T-Tar. And now I know it's Smooth Rock. So Hatterene is very free here. And I do get the Magic Bounce on rocks. I try to continue the Draining Kiss spam. Now Finny is out. Now I'm gonna try to do that surprise Nuzzle tech I mentioned by stalling out terrain with Calm Mind. But Finny traps me anyway. So now Nature's Madness or Haze could be coming off, so I might as well just spam Kiss to chip it. But it instead taunts, which I guess Swaggy forgot gets Magic Bounce. Now it can't Haze, so now I can just Calm Mind again. Now there's the Nature's Madness. So at this point, I just have to spam Kiss. And we will spam back and forth until Finny inevitably loses. During this exchange, I can see why Swaggy struggled finding a switch into Hat. He was well aware of Nuzzle and didn't want Espathra or Volk paralyzed, while Finny just gets clapped like this. So Tusk comes out to revenge. I send out Gourgeist to possibly Spin Block or Sack. I didn't need Gourgeist any much longer because Dracozolt is pretty much done. I do get in some nice chip. And finally, the Navark comes out. Swaggy preserves by going to Espathra. But Jet Punch is just too strong. So, even with that Protect, Espathra could not do much. I was actually very surprised at that damage, and if I was my opponent, I would think that's Choice Banded Jet Punch. because I'm just not used to that type of damage. So, yeah, this Volcarona, it looks like Tera Grass is going to come out. It looks very telegraphed. So I decide to read the Tera and Ice Punch. It works out. And now, oh, yeah. And now I can just clean with Jet Punch. My Tera was not needed, but I'm gonna do it anyway for dramatic purposes. An impressive 5-0 to start the league. Hatterene threw the opposition into disarray, and then Palafin cleaned up the mess. Swaggy just had no answer for the hat. I also won the Calm Mind War, if it came down to it, because all of Hat's moves postponed their sweep while also providing damage. On the turn where I read Tera Grass, I believe I was still safe, even if I got the read wrong, because I did have AV Infernape at full health. And if Vault got greedy with even more quivers, it would lose the priority spam. So let's hope my broken water type continues to carry me like the last series I recapped.